Welcome to Life in Times of Kato. I am your host, Jay Kato. In today's discussion, I want to talk about how a lot of times I always say that, everybody deserves their moment of peace or their peaceful moments or their time of separation and things like that. And I'm a big advocate of give me my space, right? I'm a big advocate of, I need my time alone and I need what I need to just kind of function so I can process my emotions and my thoughts so that way I can go on about my day. However, there are moments where I am wrong about that. There's moments where I may be in my space and what ends up happening is I get so caught up in my own thoughts and I kind of get so caught up in things that transpire throughout the day and it kind of sometimes takes me left and I don't necessarily process information the way I need to or in a healthy way. And, I start to realize that and this is going to be about my wife is like, I need my wife, and it's not that I never felt that I don't need her. I need her all the time. But, there are moments when I'm in those places or in that space or whatever it is, and I may not be processing stuff, in a healthy way or whatever it is. But, there are times that I need her, I need her to be with me. I need her to spend that time with me or that alone time. And this is kind of one of those instances where every couple should have that alone time with each other. Every couple should have that moment where they go out to dinner, where they go out to things that just kind of, keeps them whole. Because if you have too much separation, that can cause it can cause a problem in how someone would mentally, process information, because again, what ends up happening sometimes is I do feel lonely, and the truth is I'm not, right? I have a significant other. I have children, I have people around me that, I communicate with daily, but because I'm always alone in my thoughts, because I'm always alone in those spaces, sometimes I might end up feeling like nobody understands. I might end up feeling like, there's no one, nobody really cares, or no one's around me. And it's because of a space that I created, and I created that lonely space. And at the end of the day, as much as I am a big advocate of being peaceful and being in your own space and having your own thoughts and just kind of, doing your own thing and just leave me the alone, you know what I mean? I am sometimes wrong about that, and you do need to partake or split time with your significant other or anybody else that's, meaningful to you or that matters to you. They need to be let in on those things, and you need to let them in on those things. Again, you don't want to sit and create a space of loneliness that doesn't exist, because that can happen, and if it has happened to me, and sitting in front of this camera and talking about all the things that I normally talk about, they come from those moments of just being alone and being in my own space and being in my own peace. But sometimes, I find that, I might be in a situation where I'm kind of thinking about something and I feel like nobody understands or nobody's listening or nobody cares. And that's not true, right? That's not true. There's someone who has an ear. There's always going to be someone who has an ear, whether it is your spouse, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, it could be a friend. It could be a stranger on the street. There's always an ear that's willing to listen, so never feel like, don't be in a place where it's just like, I constantly need my space. And then it starts to create this negative space instead of it being a positive space. And again, that's coming from me being guilty of that. That's coming from me being so isolated sometimes that I start to create these environments that aren't real, and they're just kind of like, there are people who care. There are people that want to listen to you. There are people that really give a shit about what you're going through and why you might process information the way you do or why you think certain things, because again, your brain will go crazy on you. It'll just run wild, and you do got to control that. And the only way to control that is by making sure that, you don't isolate yourself to a point where you're like a recluse, a recluse, however you want to pronounce that word. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that, you do set aside some time to spend time with people that you love. Anyway, that's all I got. Do what you do it well, do it the best way you know how. Jay Cotto, I am out. Peace.